A massive humpback whale, rising out of the sea like a mountain of flesh and bone, its enormous body circling a small research boat. To the crew, it wasn't just unusual. It was terrifying. Whales don't behave this way. Not this close. Not this insistent. Something was wrong. But what happened next would change their lives forever. Stay with us until the end, because this is not just a story about a whale. This is a story about trust, about urgency, and about a bond between humans and the wild that defies explanation. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more incredible stories like this. The morning had begun in silence. The ocean was calm, a sheet of glass, the kind of stillness that feels almost sacred. But the peace shattered in an instant. With a thunderous explosion of water, a humpback whale breached beside their vessel. The boat shook. Spray lashed across the crew's faces. For a heartbeat, fear gripped them. This was a 40-ton animal, and it had chosen to be impossibly close. But as the giant circled back again and again, something became clear. This wasn't aggression, it wasn't random. The whale wasn't chasing them away, it was trying to lead them somewhere. The crew hesitated, exchanging nervous glances. Then slowly, they turned the boat to follow. Every time they lagged behind, the whale surfaced and waited. Every time they slowed, it circled back. It was deliberate. It was urgent. Minutes later, the sea changed. Fog closed in around them, thick and heavy. The water turned pale. And then, the sounds began. High-pitched whistles, frantic clicks, the cries of panic. The crew's hearts pounded as the mist parted and revealed the truth. A pod of dolphins, trapped, their sleek bodies bound in ropes and nets, thrashing desperately for air. Mothers pushed calves upward for fleeting breaths before the drag pulled them under. One calf rolled sideways, its blowhole barely breaking the surface. Another kicked helplessly, its tail bound tight in cruel cordage. The crew froze. Then, their eyes darted back to the whale. It hovered at the edge of the cove, fin raised high, a sentinel pointing to the trapped. And in that moment, the truth hit them hard. The humpback had summoned them. What followed was a race against time. Knives flashed in calloused hands. Ropes strained and snapped. The water frothed with chaos. Each freed dolphin was met with another cry of distress. Maya, one of the crew, dove headfirst into the cold water. A calf's tail was bound so tightly it could barely move. She slashed at the rope, lungs screaming for air. With one final wrench, it gave way. The calf shot to the surface, shrilling a cry of life, its mother circling close in frantic joy. Together, the crew carved an opening through the tangled nets, dragging pallets and ropes aside. The tide seized the gap, pulling water, and dolphins through with it. One by one, the pods surged forward, leaping in silver arcs, their voices no longer cries of terror, but bright bursts of freedom. But the most remarkable moment was yet to come. The dolphins did not leave right away. Instead, they circled the boat in a living ring, rising and diving, their clicks reverberating through the hull until the crew could feel it in their bones. It wasn't chaos now. It was chorus, a chorus of thanks. And then, at the edge of the circle, the whale rose, fast, still, watching. The dolphins wheeled around it as though acknowledging the guardian who had summoned human hands to their aid. At last, the dolphins streamed into open water, but the whale did not vanish into the depths. No, it stayed. Slowly, deliberately, it turned toward the boat, and with steady strokes it began to guide them back, retracing every step through fog and shoals. It surfaced again and again, never rushing, never straying, as though the ocean itself had taken responsibility for their safe return. When they reached the wide-open sea, the whale paused. It raised one immense fin high into the air, holding it for a single breathless moment, before crashing it down in a curtain of spray. Then, its fluke rose, lingered, and slipped beneath the waves. The water smoothed over. Silence returned. The crew sat frozen, hearts heavy with what they had just witnessed. They hadn't just freed dolphins that morning. They had answered a call that came from beyond themselves, a call that crossed the boundary between species. The whale had not been a witness. It had been a messenger, and in its careful escort back to open water, it left them with a truth they would never forget. The ocean is watching, and when it calls, it asks for our help.